All right, listen up. Wanderlusters and adventure junkies. If you're anything like me, you're always on the lookout for that next great adventure, that next hidden gem that will take your breath away and leave you with stories to tell for years to come. You know that feeling, right? That itch you get to just drop everything, grab your backpack, and disappear to somewhere incredible? It's that insatiable wanderlust that keeps us exploring, seeking out new experiences, and discovering places that are off the beaten path. Yeah, me too. That's exactly what led me to Guatemala. And let me tell you, this place is the real deal. From the moment I set foot in this country, I knew I had stumbled upon something truly special. Guatemala is a land of contrasts, where ancient history meets vibrant modern culture, and where natural beauty is around every corner. We're talking jaw-dropping landscapes, ancient ruins straight out of an Indiana Jones movie, and a culture so vibrant it practically explodes with color. Imagine walking through ancient Mayan ruins, feeling the weight of history around you, and then stepping into a bustling market filled with the sights, sounds, and smells of Guatemalan life. I'm talking markets overflowing with textiles and spices, volcanoes you can practically climb into, and lakes that look like they were plucked straight out of a postcard. Picture yourself wandering through a market, the air thick with the scent of exotic spices, your eyes dazzled by the vibrant colors of hand-woven textiles. Or imagine the thrill of climbing an active volcano, feeling the heat beneath your feet, and then being rewarded with a panoramic view that takes your breath away. This isn't just another travel vlog, alright? This is about uncovering those hidden gems, those off-the-beaten-path experiences that make you feel like you've stumbled onto something truly special. It's about finding those places that aren't in the guidebooks, the ones that only the locals know about, and that make you feel like you're discovering a secret. We're diving deep into the heart of Guatemala, and trust me, you're going to want to come along for the ride. We're going to explore the hidden corners of this incredible country, from the lush jungles to the towering mountains, from the serene lakes to the bustling cities. We're going to meet the people who call this place home and learn about their traditions, their stories, and their way of life. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on an adventure that'll have you booking a one-way ticket before you can say passport control. Get ready to be inspired, to be amazed, and to fall in love with Guatemala. This is more than just a trip. It's a journey of discovery, a chance to see the world through new eyes, and to experience the magic of a place that is truly one of a kind. Get ready to explore Guatemala. From the ancient ruins of Tikal to the stunning beauty of Lake Atitlán, from the vibrant streets of Antigua to the remote villages of the highlands, there's so much to see and do here. Whether you're an adrenaline junkie looking for your next thrill, a history buff eager to learn about the past, or simply someone who loves to immerse themselves in new cultures, Guatemala has something for everyone. So pack your bags, grab your camera, and get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. Let's go explore the hidden gem that is Guatemala. First things first, let's talk about the landscape, because Guatemala is straight up stunning. Imagine this, soaring volcanoes piercing the clouds, their peaks lost in a mist that seems to hold centuries of stories. Then you've got these shimmering lakes, reflecting the sky like giant mirrors, surrounded by villages bursting with life and color. And don't even get me started on the jungles. We're talking thick, lush, Indiana Jones-worthy jungles, teeming with exotic wildlife and hidden waterfalls that'll make you feel like you've stepped back in time. We hiked through cloud forests, kayaked on crater lakes, and even went spelunking in caves that have been around since the Mayan civilization. Whether you're a hardcore hiker, a nature photographer, or just someone who appreciates a damn good view, Guatemala's got you covered. Now, let's talk about the culture. because Guatemala is a melting pot of ancient traditions and colonial charm. I'm talking about Mayan ruins that'll transport you back thousands of years, cobblestone streets that whisper tales of Spanish conquistadors, and colorful markets where you can haggle for hand-woven textiles and sip on the freshest coffee you've ever tasted. We're talking about a place where ancient rituals are still practiced, where the air hums with the energy of generations past. You can literally feel the history beneath your feet as you wander through ancient temples, explore colonial cities, and connect with locals who keep their traditions alive. And speaking of the locals, get ready to be welcomed with open arms. Guatemalans are some of the warmest, friendliest people you'll ever meet. Their smiles are infectious, their stories are captivating, and their passion for their culture is contagious. Now, I know what you're thinking. All this sounds amazing, Casey, but my bank account is crying just thinking about it. Listen, I get it. Traveling can be expensive, but here's the thing about Guatemala. It's incredibly affordable. We're talking about a place where you can eat delicious street food for a couple of bucks, crash in a cozy guest house for less than the price of a hostel in Europe, and get around on chicken buses that'll cost you pennies on the dollar. Seriously, you can experience the trip of a lifetime without breaking the bank. And the best part is, you're not sacrificing quality for affordability. The food is fresh and flavorful, the accommodations are charming and authentic, and the experiences are priceless. But here's the real kicker. Guatemala is an adventure playground. We're talking volcano hikes that'll test your limits, zip lining through the jungle canopy, whitewater rafting on raging rivers, and exploring ancient caves that'll make you feel like Indiana Jones. You can literally spend weeks here and still not scratch the surface of all the adventures this country has to offer. Whether you're an adrenaline junkie or just looking to try something new, Guatemala will push you out of your comfort zone and leave you with stories to tell for years to come. So ditch the all-inclusive resorts and the tourist traps, all right? Guatemala is calling, and it's time to answer the call of adventure. All right, let's talk destinations, because Guatemala is packed with them. First up, we're heading to Antigua, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that's like stepping back in time. Picture this. Cobblestone streets lined with colorful colonial buildings, towering volcanoes framing the skyline, and a vibrant energy that's impossible to resist. We're talking about a city that's steeped in history, bursting with culture, and overflowing with delicious food and fantastic coffee. We spent days wandering through its charming streets, exploring its hidden courtyards, and soaking up the atmosphere in its lively plazas. Whether you're a history buff, a foodie, or just someone who appreciates a good Instagram backdrop, Antigua will steal your heart. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. Safety. It's a question everyone asks, especially about a place like Guatemala. And look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Every country has its good areas and its, let's say, less than ideal areas. Guatemala's no different. But here's the deal. Millions of tourists visit Guatemala every year, and the vast majority have amazing safe experiences. It's all about being smart, doing your research, and taking precautions. Just like you would anywhere else in the world, right? So what does travel smart actually mean? First off, stick to the well-traveled paths. Antigua, Lake Atitlán, Tikal. Those places are crawling with tourists, which means there's safety in numbers. And yeah, maybe skip wandering down dark alleys late at night. Common sense stuff, people. Another pro tip, use reputable guides, especially for hikes or adventures off the beaten path. They know the lay of the land, they speak the language, and they can help you avoid any sticky situations. Plus, you might learn some cool local secrets along the way. Now, let's talk about the people. Guatemalans are some of the warmest, most welcoming people you'll ever meet. Seriously, their hospitality is next level. They'll go out of their way to help you, even if you don't speak a lick of Spanish. And don't be afraid to strike up a conversation, even if it's just a few broken phrases. A little effort goes a long way. Trust me, the connections you make with locals will be some of the most memorable parts of your trip. If you're a first-time visitor, I get it. You might be a little nervous. So, here's my advice. Stick to the tourist hotspots like Antigua, Lake Atitlán, and Tikal. These places are well equipped for travelers, with plenty of accommodation options, restaurants, and tour operators. Once you've got your bearings, you can always venture out and explore more off-the-beaten-path destinations. But for your first trip, keep it simple, keep it safe, and focus on soaking up the incredible beauty and culture that Guatemala has to offer. Alright, adventure seekers, this one's for you. If you're the kind of person who lives for that adrenaline rush, Guatemala is your playground. We're talking volcano hikes that'll leave you breathless, literally and figuratively. Zip-lining through jungle canopies, caving expeditions into the underworld. You name it, Guatemala's got it. And I'm not talking about some watered-down tourist traps. These are authentic, heart-pumping experiences that'll push you to your limits. But hey, that's what adventure's all about, right? That's what... But Guatemala isn't just about adrenaline-fueled adventures. It's also a cultural goldmine, just waiting to be explored. We're talking ancient Mayan ruins that'll blow your mind, vibrant markets overflowing with colorful textiles and handicrafts, and festivals that'll immerse you in the heart and soul of Guatemalan culture. Trust me, this isn't your average history lesson. It's about experiencing a culture that's been thriving for centuries, connecting with locals, and broadening your horizons in ways you never thought possible. If you're anything like me, you need your nature fix. And let me tell you, Guatemala does not disappoint. We're talking lush rainforests teeming with exotic wildlife, towering volcanoes piercing the clouds, and serene lakes reflecting the sky like mirrors. Whether you're hiking through the jungle, kayaking across a volcanic lake, or just soaking up the scenery from a hammock, Guatemala's natural beauty will leave you speechless. Now let's talk budget. One of the best things about Guatemala is that it's incredibly affordable, especially compared to other Central American destinations. You can easily find delicious street food for a couple of bucks, comfortable accommodation for under $20 a night, and transportation is super cheap. So, if you're looking for an adventure that won't break the bank, Guatemala is the perfect place to let loose, experience something new, and create memories that'll last a lifetime, all without emptying your wallet. Alright, so you're in Guatemala, right? You've got your camera, you're hyped. The streets are bustling with life, colors, and sounds that are completely new to you. Every corner you turn, there's something that catches your eye, something that makes you want to snap a photo. But hold on a second. But listen, it's not just about checking off landmarks. Sure, the landmarks are stunning and they make for great photos, but there's so much more to this place. It's about diving into the culture, man. It's about immersing yourself in the everyday life of the locals, understanding their traditions, and feeling the heartbeat of the place. It's about those little moments, those authentic experiences that stick with you long after you've left. Like when you share a laugh with a local vendor, or when you join a spontaneous street dance. First up, you gotta see a traditional weaving demonstration. This isn't just a show, it's a glimpse into a centuries-old craft. These artisans, they're like magicians with textiles. Their hands move with such precision and speed, it's mesmerizing. The way they work those looms, the intricate patterns, it's insane. Each piece tells a story of their heritage and their skill. You'll never look at a rug the same way again. You'll see the hours of labor, the dedication, and the artistry that goes into every thread. And speaking of unforgettable experiences, let's talk about the food. Food is a huge part of any culture, and Guatemalan cuisine is no exception. Guatemalan cuisine is next level. It's a blend of indigenous flavors and Spanish influences, creating something truly unique. We're talking pepian, this rich, savory stew that's been simmering for generations. It's like a warm hug in a bowl, full of spices and flavors that dance on your tongue. We're talking tamales, these little pockets of heaven wrapped in banana leaves. Each bite is a burst of flavor, a taste of tradition. And the tortillas? Don't even get me started. They're not just a side dish, they're a staple, a way of life. Fresh, hot, and unbelievably delicious. You can taste the difference, the freshness, the love that goes into making them. Trust me, you haven't lived until you've had a real Guatemalan meal. It's an experience that engages all your senses. Find a local spot, ditch the tourist traps, and get ready to have your mind blown. The flavors, the atmosphere, the people, it's all part of the experience. And if you really want to dive deep, why not take a cooking class? Learn to make these dishes yourself. It's a hands-on way to connect with the culture. Don't forget to visit the local markets. They're a feast for the senses, the colors, the smells, the sounds. It's a slice of everyday life. Bargain with the vendors, learn about the products, and maybe even pick up a few words of the local language. It's all part of the adventure, and if you're lucky enough to be there during a festival, don't miss it. The energy, the music, the dancing, it's an explosion of culture and joy. The real magic of travel isn't just in the places you see, but in the connections you make. The friendships, the shared stories, the moments of laughter. So take your time, soak it all in. Let Guatemala's beauty, culture, and warmth leave a lasting imprint on your heart. Because at the end of the day, it's more than just sights. It's about experiences that change you, that stay with you forever. So go out there, explore, and make memories that will last a lifetime. Now, if you're lucky enough to be in Guatemala during a festival, man, you're in for a treat. The air is electric, filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and the vibrant chatter of people. The streets are adorned with colorful decorations, and the aroma of delicious street food wafts through the air, inviting you to indulge in the local flavors. Semana Santa, Holy Week. It's a whole other level of celebration. The entire city of Antigua transforms into a living, breathing work of art. Intricately designed alfombras, or carpets, made of colored sawdust, flowers, and pine needles cover the streets, creating a stunning visual spectacle. The processions are solemn, yet captivating, with participants dressed in traditional robes, carrying religious statues and candles. Processions, music, colors everywhere. It's like the whole country comes alive. The rhythmic beats of marimba music fill the air, and you can't help but be swept up in the joyous atmosphere. Dancers in vibrant costumes perform traditional dances, their movements telling stories passed down through generations. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way. But even the smaller local festivals are amazing. These community gatherings offer a more intimate glimpse into Guatemalan culture. You might find yourself in a quaint village square, surrounded by friendly locals eager to share their traditions with you. The sense of community is palpable, and you'll feel like you've been welcomed into a big, warm family. You'll see traditional dances, fireworks, the works. It's pure energy. The night sky lights up with dazzling fireworks. and the sound of laughter and music fills the air. Street vendors offer an array of mouth-watering treats, from tamales to churros, and you can savor the flavors of Guatemala with every bite. And while we're on the topic of energy, let's talk coffee. Guatemala's coffee is renowned worldwide, and for good reason. The country's unique climate and fertile volcanic soil create the perfect conditions for growing high-quality coffee beans. Each cup tells a story of dedication and craftsmanship. Guatemala is famous for its coffee, and for good reason. The rich, aromatic beans are hand-picked by skilled farmers who have perfected their craft over generations. The coffee culture here is deeply ingrained in daily life, and you'll find coffee shops on every corner, each offering their own unique brews. Take a coffee plantation tour, man. It's an experience you won't forget. You'll walk through lush coffee fields, learning about the different varieties of coffee plants and the meticulous process of cultivation. Knowledgeable guides will share fascinating insights into the history and significance of coffee in Guatemala. See how it's grown, roasted, the whole process. Witness the transformation of green coffee beans into the rich, aromatic beans that make your morning cup of joe. The roasting process is an art form in itself, with skilled roasters carefully monitoring the beans to achieve the perfect roast profile. And the tasting, forget about it. You'll have the chance to sample a variety of coffee blends, each with its own distinct flavor profile. From fruity and floral notes to rich chocolatey undertones, Guatemalan coffee offers a diverse range of tastes that will delight your palate. Best coffee you'll ever have, guaranteed. There's something special about sipping a freshly brewed cup of coffee while surrounded by the very landscape that produced it. The experience is both grounding and exhilarating, connecting you to the land and its people in a profound way. Now picture this. You're standing on top of a Mayan pyramid, the jungle stretching out before you as far as the eye can see. The ancient ruins whisper tales of a civilization that once thrived here, and you can almost feel the presence of the Mayan people who built these incredible structures. The sun's just starting to peek over the horizon, painting the sky in these crazy colors. That sunrise at Tikal, it's magical, man. The first rays of light illuminate the ancient stones, casting long shadows and creating a surreal, almost otherworldly atmosphere. It's a moment of pure awe and wonder, worth every early morning wake-up call. As you stand there, taking in the breathtaking view, you realize that this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. The beauty and mystery of Tikal leave an indelible mark on your soul, and you'll carry the memories of this magical place with you forever. Look, I'm all about the hustle, the adventure, the constant movement. But even I need to chill sometimes, you know? And there's no better place to do that than Lake Atitlán. Surrounded by volcanoes, crystal clear water, it's like something out of a dream. Find yourself a lakeside lodge, kick back, and just soak it all in. Go for a swim, rent a kayak, or just relax with a good book. Trust me, you'll feel your stress melting away. And hey, while you're there, why not try some stand-up paddle boarding? It's harder than it looks, but super fun. Now, I know what you're thinking. Casey, you're forgetting something. You're right. I haven't even mentioned the Mayan ruins yet. Tikal is amazing, don't get me wrong, but there are ruins scattered all over Guatemala. Each one has its own vibe, its own story to tell. So get out there and explore, man. You never know what you might discover. Here's the thing about Guatemala. It's full of surprises. You might start your day planning to visit a market and end up hiking through a cloud forest. You might stumble upon a hidden waterfall or find yourself sharing a meal with a local family. And that's the beauty of it, you know? It's those unplanned moments, those chance encounters that make a trip truly special. So be open to the unexpected, embrace the unknown. That's where the real magic happens. One thing I will say though, is don't be afraid to get lost. Not literally lost, obviously, but wander off the beaten path a little. Talk to the locals, try new things, and don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Okay, so you're convinced. You're booking that ticket to Guatemala. Sweet. But before you pack your bags, let's talk logistics. First things first, timing is key, people. When it comes to weather in Guatemala, it's all about the dry season. We're talking November to April, prime time for exploring. Trust me, you don't want to be caught in a downpour while you're trying to hike a volcano. Now, let's talk packing. Rule number 1, pack light. You'll be moving around a lot, and trust me, you don't want to be lugging around a heavy suitcase. Bring comfortable shoes, especially if you're planning on doing any hiking. Layers are key too. It can get chilly in the mornings and evenings, especially in the highlands. Listen up, because this is important. Forget about renting a car in Guatemala. It's more trouble than it's worth. Trust me on this one. The best way to get around is by shuttle or private transport. It's affordable, safe, and super convenient. Plus, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the scenery. And speaking of scenery, make sure you keep your phone charged. You're going to want to take a lot of pictures. Now let's talk money. The local currency is the Guatemalan quetzal, and you'll want to have some cash on hand, especially for smaller purchases in markets. ATMs are widely available, but it's always a good idea to have some backup just in case. And here's a pro tip, don't be afraid to haggle, especially in markets. It's all part of the experience. I know what you're thinking. Is Guatemala safe? And the answer is, like most places, it depends. Use your common sense, be aware of your surroundings, and you'll be fine. Stick to well-trodden paths, avoid walking alone at night, and don't flash your cash around. It's always a good idea to let someone know your itinerary too, just in case. One of the best things about Guatemala is the people. They're incredibly welcoming, friendly, and always happy to help. If you're ever lost or need recommendations, don't hesitate to ask a local. They'll point you in the right direction. Look, I get it. You're in a new country. You're excited. You want to capture everything on camera. But remember to be respectful, alright? Always ask permission before taking photos of people, especially indigenous communities. It's their culture, their heritage, and we need to treat it with respect. And speaking of respect, learn a few basic Spanish phrases. Even just hola, gracias, and por favor will go a long way. The locals will appreciate the effort, and it'll make your trip that much more enjoyable. Trust me on this one. So there you have it, my friends. Guatemala. The land of volcanoes, ancient ruins, and vibrant culture. It's a place that will challenge you, inspire you, and stay with you long after you've left. It's not just a destination, it's an experience. It's about embracing the unknown, pushing your boundaries, and opening yourself up to new possibilities. So what are you waiting for? Book that ticket, pack your bags, and get ready for the adventure of a lifetime. And hey, while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and come along for the ride. It's going to be epic.